We'll find something.
Me neither.
Yep.
I told Erica that I'm joining on a podcast with you, and she's like, "Oh, you going to prep anything or anything?" And I'm like, "Oh, usually when Nathan and I talk, we just go with the flow, and we'll probably go on some tangents."
Right. I think they're the best ones. I think I've done 3 episodes now with people where I've done like a bit of prep and had some organized questions. And I know with one of them, I asked 0 of those questions that I prepared because as soon as we
Yeah,
started up, they said something, and I'm like, oh wow, that's really interesting. Let's talk about that instead. So
yeah,
that's what we're doing just off air. And you brought up Night of Champions that you did a couple of weeks ago. So tell us that story because I watched that on social media and it looked like it was pretty fun,
yeah.
especially
It's
the
pretty fun.
reactions.
Yeah. Well, I saw they put up a post. I think it was 4 days out. Uh, they said, "Oh, James Lee has pulled out of this competition. We need a replacement. If
Mm-hmm.
you've got over 102 GLs uh, and you're interested, let us know." And I was like, "Oh," I was sitting down watching Netflix with Erica. I was like, "Go to the post," and I was like, "Oh, what do you think?" She goes, "Do it, do it." I'm like, "All right." So I just wrote, "Oh, I'm not scared." And a lot of people, before that, a lot of people actually shared it with me in my DMs. Do it, do it, do it, do it. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do it. Fine. um, so yeah, I put it in, and then Jacob called me later that night, and he said, "Oh, we'll sit on it, and I'll let you know in the morning." And then he goes, message me in the morning, confirmed, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm competing in 3 days. Uh, so yeah, it was funny. I literally got back from Costa Rica from coaching for like you know a week and a bit. Um, but I had a decent block behind that, so I was like, yeah, I got some good training behind me, and plus, I'm a veteran. I've got 10 plus years of training behind me, so
I
it's like
think I think
I
that's
have
the
that
more
faith.
I think that's the more important bit. You've got 10 years of powerlifting and another 10 years of strength training on top of that. Like you're good
Yeah,
to go without a peak.
that's right.
You're right. Like
That's right.
you don't need to worry about the last 12 weeks. Like worry about
Yeah,
the last 12 years. That
that's
stands you in
right.
better stead,
Yeah, I hold a decent baseline, so
right?
so I was like, okay, why not? Let's just test it out, see what happens. Like, you know, um, sitting a bit heavy at the moment, which is fine, because when you're away overseas and you don't have to cut weight, why not just enjoy?
The Costa Rican food's pretty
Yeah,
good, isn't it? It's
the,
cheap.
the beers are good too. So
It's good beer
uh,
drinking weather.
that's right. Um, so yeah, went into that. I thought, oh, okay, I might just go train. Like, I started my new block that week, so I wrapped up week. I think I wrapped up week one that day when I said I'll do it. So I was like, all right, I'll may as well go into the next day and see what a usual opener would feel like with a squat,
Hmm.
and then maybe push bench just a little bit heavier than an opener and see where I'm at with that, and then we'll call it from there. Obviously, hit some light volume after, and then okay, just completely rest and go and compete. And then it went reasonably well. I PR'd my total, which is
I like
hilarious.
reasonably well. So, yeah, reasonably well.
Yeah, yeah.
How much did you
Got
PR
some
your total
money.
by?
Only 2.5, which
Uh,
is fine.
it's a PR.
Yeah,
Still a
happy.
PR.
Matched my squat, and a 2.5 on my deadlift.
There you go.
Yeah. So, and I felt like there was room there as well. Felt like there was a bit of room. So I was like, okay. So I learned some lessons from that as well. It's like,
I was going to
probably
ask
don't need a
what have you learned? What's the big takeaway from that then?
you don't need to push the trainer too hard, like
Mm.
into the peak. Like after um, it's if pushing it too hard, you're gonna have to pay back some of that fatigue and tax, and you only got a few days to pay it back. So, um,
I like that. You're going to have to pay it back eventually. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, It's like a
How?
credit card, right?
Oh yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's like your recovery. It's like, okay, I've got this much in my card, and that's I got how much I got to spend. And then if I spend any more of that, I have to pay it back with interest. So
Yes, yes.
um so it's all about just fatigue management. You gotta just, you know, a good quote that Ross, said to me years ago: you don't need to win the meet in training, you win the meet at the meet. So
Ah, yeah, yeah. He's
right,
smart, that Ross Lepler, isn't he? He's a
yeah, so
clever
don't
guy.
you don't need to push it, the big numbers there. You push it at training, just trust that you can do it on the day.
Hmm.
So um which in my opinion, I see that's still a bit of an issue with some lifters as well, pushing it really hard right up to, you know, a week out and stuff. And it's like, well, you're gonna, gotta pay some of that back. Do you have time to pay it back? And also, maybe you did what you had
Hmm.
then, and it's kind of fallen off. So
How do you see the difference now between like that, the baseline and the peak? Uh, let me try to explain that question better. What I see a lot of these days is there's a big difference between people's baseline strength, like what they've got any day of the week, and what they can
yeah,
do at a competition. You're one of these exceptions, and when I say this, I really like it because I like people that validate my experience. So you're a lot more like me, compete a little bit more often, and you're really close to your peak, always.
yeah,
It's just, it's a short, sharp peak. You're ready to go. You can not train very well for a month and then come back and hit a PR on 3 days notice.
yeah, yeah. I, I'm yet to see that kind of peak on comp. Like, it's never huge. It's never like mind blowing on comp day compared to training.
Yeah, what do you think that
Uh,
is? Is like I think that's the way it should be, personally.
yeah,
Like why are
yeah,
you surprised on comp day what you do?
yeah, yeah. I'm just trying to think of like athletes I work with as well, that where we see this huge peak, and it there is, and there isn't. It ends up quite predictable. Like what we do with RTS, we're very data driven. We track all estimates, 1RMs and all that, and and we use that as a guidance. It's an estimate, right?
Yep.
Um,
Oh, I want to stop you there for a second because it is an estimate and it's a prediction. I
yeah,
think what's happening these days in coaching is there's far too many coaches that are taking that as certain. They're going, yeah, it's our
yeah,
prediction based on a lot of data, but it's
yeah,
still a prediction. It's not fact. We're still got to find out, and there's got to be this continual sequencing of going, how reliable is my data? Doesn't mean what I think it means. I think
yeah,
there's a lot of emphasis these days on the coaches being right ahead of time and going, oh well,
yeah,
my prediction is what it should be, and I think
yeah.
that's all. It's kind of back to front.
That's right. Yeah, I think with some of the lifters I work with, you can there's a buffer, right?
Yep.
Like it says 200, right? Your estimate is 200, and for me, I'm like, from what I see in my judgment, I think there's like 197, 195 there, or rarely it's a little bit over. But it's just a gauge, and you can't predict how comp's going to go, right? You go how it plays out, you go how placings play out. Then okay, this is where we think we're at. Let's see how close it is. And like if it comes from like need to pull for the win, all right. Well, uh, I had a lifter at Junior Worlds. She had to pull 205 for the win. I
Hmm.
had her at 197. She pulled it to her knees, and then it was too heavy. But she had a lot to gain and nothing to lose. She was clear second place. Had to pull that 205 for the win, and it was close. She got off the floor very. We were surprised,
Mm.
but um, I knew that she was around the 200 range. 197
Yep.
was 100%. So
Yeah, it's just for every kilo you go above what you're fairly certain of, because you can be quite certain. You go, all right, they definitely got 97% of what I've predicted, definitely. And then for
yeah,
every kilo you go above where you're certain, it just reduces. You're like, oh, they could. But then it
they
becomes like
could.
oh, it's a 50-50 now. Like if she gets everything right, she'll pull it. And then you go another
Yeah,
kilo, you're like, well, if she absolutely nails every technique she's been practicing over the last year, then she'll get it. It's
yeah,
just,
yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
and
amazing what some people are able to pull out on the day
oh
above what
yeah,
they are. But those people are so rare. They're
yeah,
amazing to watch, but they're rare.
yeah, yeah, and you can kind of tell as well. You're like this when this athlete goes on the platform, you're going to get a little bit extra out of them because they strive on it. They strive on that platform. Whereas compared to training, uh, on the flip side, another lifter I was coaching there, we had his estimated squat to be around I don't know exactly 325
Hmm.
maybe just over, and I was like, I reckon he's got 315, and we had planned 315, and which was a 10 kilo PR, and he absolutely smoked it, and I'm like, okay, it's probably a little bit closer to that top range. So but still PR, and it's still data, right?
Yeah, yeah, it
um
is.
it's still data, still learning. uh, we know for next time to not take those estimates as certain, but it is a gauge.
Yeah,
It's a gauge. It's
yep. And I think the better the coach or the more experienced the coach, the closer that range becomes over time.
it
Like
does.
I
Yeah,
know, have you met Adam Coe before? I'm sure you've seen him around the place.
I've heard of it. Adam
Yeah.
Kerr. Yeah,
So Adam's brilliant at attempt selection. Like we used to go to be at comps together, just watching in the crowd, or he might be emceeing and I'll be watching, or vice versa. And we'll start talking to each other as lifters are walking out, deciding
yeah,
whether their attempt selection is right. Dude is so close to batting 1,000 with just watching people and knowing what they're capable of. It's brilliant skill.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I like to do some of that as well, and
Yeah.
even just watching the stream, you're like, okay, I think they have this much here,
Yeah, I've been doing
and
that the whole time I'm powerlifting, that guessing game. I think that's the fun bit.
yeah,
Both as a spectator and sort of coach, and then watching attempt selections and gauging things, and
yeah.
almost having a bet in the crowd about who's going to make the next lift.
I like ones where you get surprised,
Right?
where
Can you
people
think of one in particular?
there's okay. There's certain
Because
people that
I've
move
got a
slow.
really good example from nationals this year.
Okay, you go. You go.
There was a lifter on her second attempt. Um, like man, that it was horrible squat, and she didn't look like she should have got that squat. At one point, the bar twisted, and it looked like
Yeah,
her feet were facing forward, and she almost spun the bar 180 degrees. Like she was facing behind herself when she's locking it out. Just everything went wrong,
wow.
and somehow she stood up with it. It was so
Yeah,
impressive. I loved it. And I'm thinking, so I'm side referee, and I'm thinking she goes back out. I'm going, no way is she coming out for a third attempt.
yeah,
No way.
yeah,
Came out, smoked it. Like it was so
yeah,
easy on the third. I'm going, how do people do that? Like that was nowhere near a good looking lift. And it should have
yeah,
been in my head, finish up now, get ready for bench. But somehow she turned it around and came back out and smoked it.
Yeah. Oh, love seeing that.
Yeah, right.
And yeah, and it could be just execution. It could be like they weren't in it fully committed in their head. They're
Hmm.
probably just nerves and like, okay, got that second one on the board. We'll just go YOLO on the last, and and then yeah, nail it.
Yeah,
Um,
it's fun, isn't it? It's really fun.
yeah,
Hey, so what I thought we could do today, what I'm really interested in at the moment is seeing how people enter the sport of powerlifting and the journey through. So, um, I think there's a lot of information on the internet at the moment about what you're doing right now. I think you know,
okay.
we know you're one of the best powerlifters in Australia. You've been around for about 10 years now. You got a great competitive history. I want to see if we can pull out some of the stories of how you got into powerlifting. And I thought we could
Yeah,
start with what you were doing when you and I met back in 2013, because that had nothing to
I-
do with powerlifting.
yeah. Well, first of all, it feels kind of like full circle now in a way.
How so?
How so? It's well, when I started, I was just a young coach, just learning the ropes, and um, now and then you helped me through my first powerlifting meet, my second one. I had no idea in the sport, and now kind of now I'm teaching people,
Right? It's cool,
teaching
isn't
new
it?
people in the sport. Yeah, so ah, what a journey so far. It's great.
And
So
what I love about your journey, and completely unprompted or designed, is you work for my friends. Like your
yeah,
coach is one of my friends, and we didn't realize that at the time. But it's these cool little overlaps from time to time that I really appreciate.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's sport. Um, 2013, we met. Was it SFG one?
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
that weird park in North Perth on Fitzgerald Street.
yeah. I remember that day. It was a couple of days. Was it 2 or 3 days?
That was 3 days. We did Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday was about 45 degrees, and we just did like non-stop swings and snatches for a day or something. It's nuts.
Man, that I remember it being pretty tough.
Mm.
But it was challenging for sure. Um, Pavel Tusalini was there, which was cool. I was a big
Pavel.
fan.
Oh man, how cool was it
Yeah,
meeting Pavel? He's such a nice
yeah,
guy.
super humble, nice guy. I remember us getting Subway. They were providing Subway for lunches, I think.
I
And
remember having
then
a steak one night with Pavel. We went out to dinner at
was that the last one? Last day we did the dinner.
yeah, it might have been the last day up at that in Mount Hawthorn at that pub.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I know the pub. Yeah. Oh man, that was brutal.
It
A
really
lot of
was,
lot of
wasn't it?
swings, a lot of carries,
Oh
a lot of
damn! You remember?
technical stuff.
You remember walking around the oval with a 24 kilo kettlebell in the rack position?
Rack position overhead,
Yeah.
double overhead.
So you know what was
Man,
fun?
that was hard.
You know what sucked for me that weekend, and that my partner Frog, who was that he was from the SAS, I think, or Navy clearance diver, really tough dude.
Yeah,
Every time you guys got told to pick up your kettlebells, it was a 24 kilo kettlebell, wasn't it?
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
remember what Pavel would say at the end of every time he would tell people to pick up kettlebells? He tells you guys to pick up 24s, women to pick up 16s. Nathan, you can pick up a 48. Frog, you're training with Nathan, so you pick up a 40.
Yeah.
It really sucked. I hated it.
I remember being in awe. You swinging these bells. I'm like, man, that's double the bell I have.
Yeah, it was crazy. I really enjoyed that weekend. It was a lot of fun. I remember doing 20 reps overhead with a 48 kilo kettlebell.
Oh man, that's huge.
Uh,
It's huge. Um,
and then on the final day, 75 kilo personal trainers telling me that my press was no good.
yeah,
Yeah,
you can press that. Jeez,
it's like all right.
20 reps.
Mm,
People wanted to do it for one.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
And then we had the snatch test on the last day after
that was
doing about a million tons of work over the preceding days, and then you do a snatch test on the final day.
That was brutal.
Mm.
That was brutal. The it's like after those couple of days of swinging bells all day, carrying them everywhere, your hands are smashed,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
you're gonna absolutely smash them with the snatch test. For those that don't know what a snatch test is, we had to do 100 snatches in 5 minutes with a 24. That's swing with good technique
Yeah, it had to be
overhead.
good, crisp technique. There was a lot of
Yeah,
people getting no repped often
a lot
with
of
that
people
one.
get no
Yeah.
reps. Yeah, yeah. I remember training for that. Even like leading in, I'm just like training for the snatch test. I'm like, man, I don't really want to do a snatch test. Not so much the being gassed or anything. It was just my hands would get shredded,
Mm-hmm.
like carved up into pieces, like my skin. Um, Over time, you just get used to it. But I think I signed up for the course like a month and a half before it, so I was like, not a huge amount of prep for it.
Yeah.
You probably want to prep
Oh yeah,
for that course.
I think everyone else there like did 6 to 9 months of preparation and getting ready for
Yeah,
it. I was the same. I signed up last minute, did no
yeah,
preparation for it. 7 days after 7 days after SFG1, I flew out to where were we? Auckland for Commonwealth Championships.
yeah,
Like it was just going, like it was dumb. It was a really dumb idea. Like it's not a good way to prep. And yeah, and then hung out with your boss, Mike, for a couple of days
Mike.
over in Auckland. He was there
Yeah,
for the same guest lifter.
that's
Um,
awesome.
but yeah, like I remember the guy that organized it all, Tim Armand. I was on the phone to him and I said,
Yeah,
"Yeah, listen, man, I've done kettlebells since 2007. I've been an instructor. I just want to come and hang out with Pavel. I don't really care if I pass or fail."
yeah,
And he's telling me, "Oh, you got no chance, blah 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 blah." And then I wasn't certified. I passed everything except for the chin up because I
yeah,
can't do chin ups.
yeah,
So yeah, I wasn't certified. So I could do
yeah.
20. So I could do
That's
20
tough.
reps with a 48. I could snatch. I could do double snatches with 48s. I could
Yeah,
do Turkish get ups with 48s. I could do all this stuff with kettlebells. And then they go, "Yeah, but you can't do pull ups, so we won't
it's a
certify you."
body weight standard.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
I was 176 kilos, so
That's a lot of pull up.
right. So I like, yeah, that's why I didn't do much with the SFG afterwards, because I thought if you're going to like if you're going to call yourself strong first, like
Yeah,
stick to that motto. Like if you got someone really strong,
yeah,
make a way.
yeah,
But anyway,
yeah, yeah. I did the second cert as well. I remember I I signed up the night before.
so,
Tim Armand goes, "You're going to do this course or not?" And I'm like, "Oh, fine, I'll do it." And then yeah, I ended up passing that one. It's weird.
right?
I didn't do the snatch test in a very long time, but yeah, it was a lot easier than the first time.
Yeah, I
Just
haven't.
had a. I was just like, okay, 5 snatches each arm on the minute.
Do you
Oh
remember
no,
the? Do you
10
remember the
snatches on each arm for
on
the
each
minute.
arm?
That's
Yeah,
right.
right. Do you remember?
Each
Do
arm.
you remember the forearm pump from that snatch test?
Yeah,
Yeah, crazy, isn't it?
I actually miss snatches.
Do you?
Yeah,
When was the
man,
last time you did a whole bunch of heavy kettlebell snatches?
long time. I
Long
used to
time.
do them a lot. I used to do them a lot before powerlifting. Like, that was what I was mostly doing before I started competing a lot more.
Yeah, I remember. Like, remember your second comp? You came to Melbourne with us, and I remember you pulled for the win that day and did it easy. And we made a whole bunch of people miss their third attempts because they'd never heard of you and they'd never seen you before. And so I
Yeah,
just told lies about who you were and what you did, and just came up with stories. I don't know. He's a cricketer. He's never done this before. I don't know what he can deadlift. Which is not technically a lie. You did play cricket, like,
yeah,
and you
I did play
hadn't
cricket
really
when I
done it
was young.
before. But in my head, I've gone, this guy swings really heavy kettlebells. He can snatch like a beast. um, whatever we put on the bar, you're probably going to pull it, and you did. It was really awesome to watch because
It's
literally, I think a kettlebell swing and a deadlift are pretty much the same thing.
yeah. Well, that was a funny comp too because I remember like squat and bench going to plan, and then we got to deadlifts, and I was cramping
That's right.
so much.
Yep.
And you ran out and you said to Erica and I think it was Bridget, my friend, we need salt,
Yep.
like ASAP. Just get salt because he's cramping heaps.
Just
I was
whatever.
very lean then too.
Oh, you were.
So,
Yeah, you were.
I think I weighed in like 81. and anyways, we're
Yeah,
cramping, and you're like,
I remember that now. You told me, you said, yeah, I did a water cut. And I said, why? And you go, I don't know. I thought I was meant to.
I
I
had
said,
no idea. I
she's like,
still had
dude, you
no
weighed in
idea.
at 81. You probably didn't need to cut.
Yeah. Um, so we got to deadlifts. I can't remember the exact temp selection, but it was like someone saw that attempt selection and they were like, "What the hell were you doing?"
Oh, yeah.
And
So that was, I'll tell you what happened out in the warm up room with that. That was every coach decided Baxter was being a dickhead again and putting in false
yeah,
attempts.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we needed to do it because I was cramping so bad. And then yeah, when people tell me that, I'm like, you know, you look at numbers on paper and you can make up your own mind on
Mm-hmm.
your assumption on that. But if you want context, you had to be there. And it's a lot of comps as well with a lot of people. You see a score sheet and it doesn't tell the full story. You can make up whatever assumption you want. But
Mm.
on that day, it was the best plan we needed because I probably wouldn't have made a third attempt.
I'm trying to, I know you beat Simon Bergner, who's the current parabench coach, um, heavily involved with Powerlifting Australia as well. There was JP Couch's lifter, who I can't remember who it was, and there was someone else. And all three of these young coaches believed that they could psych up their lifter into lifting more than they were capable of doing.
Yeah.
And I go, and I was
Yeah.
watching them the whole time. I go, yeah, you believing that they can do it isn't, there's more to it than that. Like they've actually had to have done the work at some point in order to lift that. And so, yeah, that made me
Yeah.
laugh that day. That was a good laugh.
That was a good laugh. It was good fun. And then yeah, that's where I found the journey really started with my powerlifting.
It did, didn't it?
Well,
Because I remember having to really convince you to come to Melbourne with us to do that one.
yeah, I was in Melbourne and I believe I posted up a PB that I put up in a gym
Mm,
somewhere, and you were like, "Oh, like, why are you doing them in the gym? Why don't you do them on the platform?" And I'm
yeah,
like,
right. Yeah, because
and I'm thinking like,
it was a
nah,
big
I'm
gap
like,
between your first and second comp, wasn't it?
yeah, I was injured, and then I
Yeah.
went FIFO. Um, that's why I switched to sumo because of my hip.
Yep.
Because that first comp I did conventional, and then for some reason it hurt doing conventional, and it didn't hurt doing sumo, so I did sumo, and I
The mind
hated
would work,
sumo,
right?
and I used to be like sumo pullers back then. I was like, "Rrr." Now I'm a sumo puller.
Do you sometimes swear at yourself in the mirror?
Yeah, no, I can't look at myself in the mirror.
Do you have a fake account where you comment on your own sumo videos and call yourself a cheater?
I used to, in the past, I used to comment on other people's sumo deadlifts and call them a cheater.
Oh,
And then
really?
people would look on my account and say, "You're a sumo puller. What are you going on about?" And I'm like, "Well, you don't understand my sense of humor, so go away."
Oh man. Oh, that's good. So yeah, you were because you guys had moved there by that stage, hadn't you, for Erica's job?
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
moved a lot because of her job.
Yep.
Yeah, it was. I remember that. I was doing FIFO. I did quite a bit of FIFO actually, and I was on the tools. I'm a carpenter by trade, and then I went into like a management role with that. I hated it because the hours suck. So I went, you know what? I'll work FIFO, earn more money and be home every second or third week.
Hmm.
So I did that driving trucks. I hated driving trucks because I was just sitting all day going
Oh yeah,
nuts.
it's
So,
boring, isn't it? It's horrible.
yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna stop doing this now. Like I started a transition with the mill, where that's where I was training and
Yep.
training at the time, and I said, "Oh look, they were looking for a coach, a part time coach," and I was like, "Okay, I'll do it." So I started a transition with them, and then eventually I moved back and I started coaching with them, and then I went back on the tools as well and coaching. And that's where I started actually coaching more, not full time, but like I would coach a class and some PT in the morning. Then
Hmm.
I'll go work construction, and then I'll do that after work as well, and then get my own training in. I don't know how I had so much energy back then. There's no way I could do it now. But
You didn't have kids.
I didn't have kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just like, okay, if I keep going hard at this coaching stuff because I love it, eventually I'll be doing it full time. So yeah, just juggling that. Then I went away on the tools, FIFO again, and then on my break I'd coach. But did that for a while, and I'm like, that's it. I'm just gonna fully commit now.
Hmm. So
I'm
that
just
was
gonna,
when we did that. When I came and did the workshop at the mill, wasn't it? Through that period.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah,
And what baffled me about that day is that you were the person in that group that I thought was least likely to ever do a powerlifting comp.
yeah,
There was a couple of the girls in there. I remember thinking, oh, they're gonna sign up for the next meet. They're gonna love
oh
this.
yeah,
They'll fit right in. And I never saw them again. They went and did CrossFit or something else. I don't know.
yeah, yeah,
Um, so then when you turned up, and it must have been a year later at least, wasn't it? Like
yeah.
2015 was your first comp.
14,
14, late 14.
yes,
Yeah,
around this
yeah. So
time,
it must
yeah,
have been like 9 months after we'd done the thing at your gym.
yeah,
And in my head, this is me being honest. In my head, I had forgotten about you, and I had stopped thinking of you as a person that existed in the world because I thought we're never going to see him in powerlifting. They're the
yeah,
only two interactions I'll ever have with him in my life. I'll never see him again. Good bloke, but
yeah,
move on. And so when you turned up in Rockingham, it totally blew my mind. Like I was going nuts seeing you walk in the room.
yeah. And you said, "Oh, do you have a coach?" And I'm like, "Nah." And you're like, "All right,
Do you
all
know
right,
what
I'll take care of you."
do you know what you're doing? And your answer
No
was?
idea. I had no idea. I did not have a clue.
Yeah.
I remember asking Rob Murrell.
Hmm.
I was like, "Hey mate, what weight class should I put down?" And he goes, "Well, how much you weigh?" I'm like, 84. He's like, "Oh, you'll make 83." Okay, I put down 83 or something like that.
Yep.
He goes, "Well, it doesn't matter if you weigh heavier. It's fine. Like, just, So I rocked up. They go, "You didn't make weight for 83." I'm like, "Oh, you had to make weight." I'm like, what is this dude doing? I'm like, "Oh, can I just lift? I just want to lift."
Yeah.
And
I
they're like, "Yeah,
when
you can put you as a 93."
when you didn't make weight and you were like a kilo and a half or 2 kilos over, that was back when we had the rule that you could just go up. You just put them in the next weight class.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that would have been Alan Scarini was handling the weigh-ins, and I just tell him. That's when I just said, "Hey Al, he's new. He has no idea. Just let him go." He's like, "Oh, let's do it."
You know, you
And
know what
then
I
and
did
then I
that day?
remember all of those guys were blown away. Not by your squat was all right. Let's be honest. We'll just miss the next lift. And then everybody was going nuts watching you deadlift.
Actually, we shouldn't miss the next lift. That was funny. Um, okay, first of all, I rocked up on the day. I've never worn a powerlifting belt. I've never worn knee sleeves. I didn't know I had to wear a singlet, comp singlet. So Loaded Lifting had a booth there, and I was like, and I was seeing all these people doing their gear check, and I'm like, what? I'm like, so I asked someone, I'm like, so do you think you lift more with a belt? They go, yeah, man. I'm like, well, maybe I'll buy a belt. So do we need a singlet? And I asked the guy at at the booth, and he's like, "Okay, mate, this is what you need." I'm like, "Okay." So I've still got this ugly insert singlet in my cupboard. I'm like,
Right.
I don't know if I can get rid of that because that's just funny. Um, I bought the belt and I bought some Reband knee sleeves. Reband?
Yeah. The
Yeah.
here we go. Where? Uh,
Yeah,
these ones.
them. I bought
Yeah.
them.
The
Yeah.
the old like look at how look at what you can do with old knee sleeves. Like that was the best knee sleeve on the market in 2014.
I bought them and I squatted high bar then too.
Yeah, I remember that. You
Uh,
looked like a person that had read a lot of Pavel Sassolin's book.
I did, and I followed a lot of 531,
Mm-hmm.
and I like I butchered it too. So I'll do 531 with a lot of GPP work. So I'll do a lot of GPP, like a lot of rowing, kettlebells,
Mm-hmm.
conditioning work as well. And I was still doing heaps of conditioning work with a taper. I was like, oh, maybe I'll just, with the taper, I'll just do the deload part of 531 and I'll just smash some cardio. Um, anyways, we did the squat. I think I missed my third on depth. It was 200 kilos, and I was like, 200, man, yeah. And then it was depth, and I'm like, oh, damn. And
Yeah,
then bench.
I remember like how difficult it was trying to guess what attempt I should put in for you that day. Because you just
I
like,
smoked it. It was just high.
yeah, it was like, holy crap, that was easy. We could have gone more if he just knew what he was doing. Like, it was so impressive. It was a very impressive debut. Very impressive.
And then bench wise, I had no idea about the rule. I had a rough idea about the rules. I know you
Oh,
had.
I had to teach you to pause in the warm up.
Yeah, you had to teach me to pause, but also I didn't know you had to have your heels down. So I must have watched a
Yeah, yeah.
GPC comp before.
Yeah,
And I was
you're
like,
not the person. You're not the first person to do that. Like that was pretty common back in those days.
I unracked it, and I'm like, I'm not getting stuck, man. I'm just gonna go.
That's
they're like, rack, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know.
yeah, yeah. I may have got a Baxter. Would you teach him, please? After that attempt, it's like, oh yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll get it for the second. Don't worry.
Yeah, and then I got a bench. I ended up with a total. So,
Yeah, that's all that
and then the
matters.
deadlift went well. It was fun. I was so pumped
Yeah,
after that deadlift. I was like, hell yeah, I want to do this again.
and then your second that I want to do this again was Melbourne,
2
wasn't it?
years.
A year later, or like a long time
Two,
later. 2 years.
yeah, yeah. It took me a while to get over that hip thing, um, but yeah,
Yeah, that was that juniors and masters nationals with a it was like the Melbourne Invitational was the Sunday morning comp or
yeah,
something. Mm.
yeah, yeah.
And
I
that
signed
was
up
always a
like
way for Melbourne uni lifters that didn't qualify to still be a part of things.
yeah. I think that one qualified me for nationals too.
It did.
I went to nationals on that one.
Yep.
Um, that was I signed up for that like what 4 or 5 weeks out
Yeah, it might have been.
when you
Maybe not
teased
even
me.
that. Yeah, I think it was another last minute one. So, given
Yeah,
that you did so well at the Night of Champions on 3 days' notice, you'd actually practiced that your whole life.
I haven't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's like always. You know, I just like leaning into uncomfortable things and random situations.
Yeah, tell me more about that because I think that's the skill that most like a oh how to put it nicely. There's a big difference between a good powerlifter and a great powerlifter. I think you're a great powerlifter, and I think that greatness comes from the way you approach life in general, and with that attitude of wanting to lean into things that are awkward and difficult and a little bit hard.
Yeah, that's It's funny. I've done things like this a lot, and I'm always surprised on the other end, where it's like, oh, actually went better than I thought.
Just
So
give us an example.
you know
What
the
is something
cardio
from
camp
the at the mill?
with the meal
Yeah.
gym?
Yep.
Yeah, I signed up for that the night before.
No way. Can like describe for people what's involved in that because it looks like a
That's
SAS requirements.
it
Nuts.
is. It's like um. So they took the selection course for SAS and kind of made it like their own thing. So it's 36 hours, no sleep, no food,
Hmm.
and put under pressure physically and mentally throughout that whole time. It was
Run
kind of
run
like
by
traumatizing at the end. Yeah, at the
run by a
end, you're
former
like,
British commando, right?
yeah. Former British commando that was 80. He was
Hmm.
there, but also Nick Caldwell, commando,
Hmm.
and then they had some other guys that are former SAS that were running it as well, and it was like, um, yeah, it would test you under pressure physically and mentally, but also as a team. It took
Hmm.
it. I learned so much from that course, so much like day to day life stuff, like just to there's a lot of leadership stuff out of that as well, where
Yep.
you will see if someone's struggling, you don't put it on them, you help them, you help the team, because a little bit of extra from each other is going to make a huge difference to the team. Whereas if you're not just only focusing on yourself, you're just going to be dragging.
Hmm.
So, um, I remember being because we had a paddle, like a raft paddle, and
Hmm.
that was our weapon, our rifle, and we weren't allowed to be without had to be within reaching distance. If it wasn't, if you forgot your paddle, everyone would get scunted like hard. um, and
Man, I
a
love
lot of
that.
people
That
did
I love that word "scunted." Sorry, keep going.
it.
That
Yeah.
is that is so Pilbara scunted. It's like tell me you're from Newman without saying it. You're scunted.
Yeah, you're done.
Oh, sorry. So
Yeah.
you got this paddle. You got to be if you lose it or not close enough to it, you get scunted.
Yeah, that or you're taking too long to pull out because they'll do a gear check thing. They'll be
Hmm.
like, "All right, we're doing it now," and you have your backpack, and they go, "One water bottle, pull out your water bottle. One bottle of Vaseline," which was random because we never used it. Pull it out.
Right.
Uh, uh, one sleeping bag, pull it out. Pull out your swag, and then if you took too long to pull it out, everyone would be put in a stress position,
Hmm.
other than the person that's taking forever to do it. Um, because and then having to put it all back together. You had a time frame to do it all that, put it all together. If you're too slow, everyone's getting flogged, and uh, I remember like there was a couple of people that just took too long to get things out, and it was up to us to show them that, hey, if you pull something out of a particular item out of your bag, put it in the same spot every time so you know where it is every time. Um, so it took us like 20 hours to actually start to teach someone about that, where no one thought of it
Right.
because we were just in pain. Like we just, it was brutal. Like we had to do like, I can't remember. We had to do a bunch of series of time trials, but also running with a torsion bar and a paddle and your
Hmm.
backpack. So torsion bar is like a solid bar, like this long. I don't know, 15 kilos. So you had
Right.
to
So
carry that,
like about a meter long, half a meter long,
half a meter long.
half
Had to
meter long.
carry that.
Yep.
Yeah, had to run around with that. Do your workouts with it. I dropped within 2 hours. I dropped that on my toe and shattered my toe. Like I had a starburst fracture
Ooh.
on my index toe, and so my whole foot went black.
Oh man.
But yeah, I remember Dick asking me, mate, you can we can either take you to the hospital and you can finish up now, or you can keep going. I'm like, I'll just keep going.
Which is, I don't want to do this twice.
Yeah, I don't want to start this again because it was part of my becoming a coach for them as well to actually
Mhm.
do this as well. And it wasn't my decision to do the course the night before. It was 80. You remember 80?
Dude,
The,
if that guy, like, he was one of the people that I've met, maybe about 10 people in my life that I was genuinely scared of. And I was
yeah,
scared of him because of how polite and gentle he is. But he
yeah.
looks anything like, just to see, he's so imposing. He's just such a big dude
Oh,
and speaks with, like, there's this kind of timbre to his voice when he speaks that I just felt like saying yes, sir, at the end of every sentence.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Very, spoke very well, very
Mm.
assertive. But also, if you know him properly, he's a bit of a larrikin as well. And
Yeah, I remember we met up. You introduced me to him at that cafe down the road from my place, and I really enjoyed his company. Funny guy,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I don't remember ever saying no to him about anything. Like,
yeah,
and I walked away from that and I've gone, I say no to a lot of people about a lot of things. I didn't say no to him once. And that's when I
no.
realized, oh shit, I'm scared of this guy because he can kill me. And I know he can kill me without too much effort.
Yeah, yep, yep, yep. He rang me the night before and he goes, "What are you doing this weekend?" I'm like, "Oh, nothing much, man. Just chilling." He goes, oh, "Okay, you're doing the cardio camp tomorrow." I'm like, "Okay."
Yes, yes, sir.
I thought he was going to say like, "Oh, let's hang out and do something," but he's like, "No, you're doing this course tomorrow."
Well, you kind of hung out,
Oh,
didn't you?
yeah, that was yeah, 36 hours. There's people that have done it 2 or 3 times as well. They're nuts.
Wow.
But it was tough. It was tough.
How have you applied those takeaways through your life going, since that?
Yeah. Yep. I could describe a lot of it as well as because you're getting screamed at as well from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's like having toddlers that are just screaming at you.
I was
But then
waiting. I was waiting for that.
yeah, so it's like okay, keep calm. What are we gonna do? Take lead. All right. What are we doing to do next? How are we gonna make this better? How can we make this stop?
Wow. Yeah. It does. It does sound like a lot of parenting. Great parenting advice in there on the being thrust into a situation where you're always tired, in a little bit of pain. You don't really know what you're doing, but you're
Yeah,
held responsible for absolutely everything, including the things that weren't your fault.
yeah, a lot of problem solving.
Right? A lot.
Yeah,
All
I
right. So
do. I do recommend. I do recommend that course though. If you ever like for people that ever wanted to test themselves in that way.
So I'm guessing that probably wasn't the first time in your life that you really tested yourself. I think you probably had a history of testing yourself doing, really strange and weird stuff before that as well.
Yeah,
Is that fair? Yeah.
yeah. Um, I'm just
That's one
trying
of
to
the.
think back. Yeah,
There's I think we've talked about this a couple of times. The similarities of growing up in Newman to me living in Wickham and Karratha, and how many stupid things that we do that are just, oh, there's nothing else to do. Let's make it exciting. Um, and then often involve dirt bikes.
dirt bikes, cars.
Mm-hmm. Cars on tracks that cars don't belong, cars at angles that don't seem, well, definitely not safe, and sometimes don't feel physically possible either. but they happen.
Mm, that happened. Yep. Yep. There's that. A lot of random stuff. I know. I think there is a lot of lessons there as a parent as well that I would take from that.
Hmm.
Um, just what I would do with my kids is just to always keep them busy. I think a lot of that stuff happens when you're just bored, right? You're doing bored, and then a lot of stupid shit happens.
Hmm.
um, so it's just keep them occupied, keep them doing something. Something. It doesn't matter what it is. Just find something they enjoy and keep them busy with it.
That kind of sounds like men at any age of life, doesn't it?
Oh
Actually,
yeah,
that just sounds like
yeah.
people throughout the whole
People.
spectrum of life. Find
Yeah,
something you love and then just get busy doing that thing that you love.
yeah. Particularly in the teenage, younger years as well, when they're
Hmm.
still growing, maturing as well, and then as an adult, you probably become more self-aware.
Well, you'd hope so, wouldn't you?
I hope so.
I've met a few people that I don't think they're ever going to become self-aware, and they're interesting to deal with and talk to. But I think, generally speaking, by your 30s, you know who you are and know how you got there,
For sure,
or at
for
least
sure.
have a fair idea,
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you learn from a lot of mistakes.
right? Well, if you're
Yeah,
still alive, then you've learned enough,
that's crazy. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
like, like, let's face it, some of the stuff that we've talked about that we've done in the past, like we lived through it.
Mm. We lived through it. Yep, yep. A
Thought
couple of
we were
close
pretty
calls.
thought we were pretty cool doing it at the time. Realized
Yeah,
10 years later that was dumb.
that was
Um,
done.
but fortunately, I was very skillful and athletic, and my balance was good.
Yeah, and then now my kids are going to go through that phase, and just hopefully they don't do too much of a dumb thing.
So there's the interesting question for a father of boys, isn't it? Because like I'd never had to experience this. I had two daughters, so very
Yeah,
different. They did different stuff to me and made different mistakes, and that's where Diane is really important for them. Um,
yeah,
as the father of two boys, knowing that they're going to want to try a lot of the stuff that you tried, including the dumb shit that you tried, how do
yeah,
you navigate that? Because there's got to be some kind of balance, doesn't it?
yeah. Well, a lot of it's going to be like the good things, to lean into the good things and encourage it as well, and have the time to really support them there as well. Um, but also being open to just try a few other things and see if they like it, see if it could be like I did. I did a powerlifting randomly, did a powerlifting meet, and now I'm doing it, still doing it. Um, so it's just keeping them busy, getting them to try new things, encourage them, be supportive, make sure they're seen,
Mm-hmm.
and try not to be too judgmental on it as well. Like they're learning.
That's
Um,
the hard bit, isn't it?
yeah.
Is we get a bit. I think we get a bit performance focused, don't we?
Oh, for sure, for sure. And I'm super laid back, but I'm super competitive as well. Like, and I get yeah, yeah. Even like as I said, I do those things last minute things. I'm competitive to in my own head. I'm like, hey,
Hmm.
this is an awkward situation. I want to win this awkward situation. So um, I'm gonna just pull that back a little bit with the kids.
Yeah, there's that temptation with super competitive parents like us that we want to teach our kids to be equally competitive and go, well, this is how you win. And like I found it, especially with one of my daughters, has no
Yeah,
interest in winning anything ever. And I'm
yeah,
like, how do people go through life not being competitive? She's good at what she does. It's just a different focus for her. And I had to learn how to not push her towards winning she used to win a lot anyway, but she didn't
Yeah.
care if she won or lost. And I go,
Yeah.
which made for some really interesting conversations because I hate losing more than I like winning. Like I'm one of
Yeah.
those type of competitors.
Me too.
Like winning's fun, it's cool, yay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the not losing part and having to overcome things that you might not have predicted or weren't an issue at the time when you signed up, like that, I always thought that was the fun of competition for me. Like
Yeah.
you said before, problem solving at high speeds.
Yeah. 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 And see what you can learn.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So like you cramping made that competition way more fun for me. I got to tell you,
yeah.
like it was
Well,
not that I was a little bit happy about seeing somebody in pain just because it's funny. But not like huge amounts of pain. You're going to get better
yeah.
from it. It just made it more interesting to need to come up with the solution, to involve a few other people in the solution, and
Yeah.
then
A
you go,
little bit of
oh,
adversity.
right. Without that adversity, it's kind of boring.
It's boring. It's, and you know, another thing to go back on is as well is that, you know, a lot of comps you do, a lot of things like that, and it's not going to go perfect. So get good at being a problem solver. Get good at, you know, if something goes bad, get good at fixing it or trying to fix it. You know.
Yeah, I was just listening to you say that's going to be the hook for Instagram right there. It's like get good at fixing problems. Just there's always problems. That's the thing about competition, about any sport, not just a strength sport. As soon as the referee says play, there's going to be a problem that you have to solve on the fly.
Yeah, you can have the most perfect game plan written out, and you probably 10 minutes in, you throw it out the window because it's or you have a plan B,
Yeah,
and then you're
right.
like, or plan C, plan D, or like, okay, let's just figure it out as we go.
I was talking to Paul McManus yesterday, who's one of the me, Paul, and Alan. Basically, you know, we restarted powerlifting here in WA back in 2007 after it had gone to complete zero,
Yeah.
and we were talking about just that thing yesterday of changing your plans when you see a new piece of information comes in. And so I know it was 2013 Commonwealth, I walked onto the platform and saw the three referees. I knew the side referee really well. And
Yeah.
and in my head, I just said, okay, I'm getting two white lights on this lift.
Yeah.
I knew that she always thought I squatted high, and I knew she was not going to give me a white light no matter what I did. So I knew whatever I did, I was working for two white lights. And so going, all
Yeah.
right, how do I get two? Don't worry about three. Let's get two white.
Yeah.
And it's those kind of things being, I literally had 3 seconds between when I saw who the referee was to me stepping under the bar. I had 3
Yep.
seconds to get my head straight and go, all right,
Yep.
this is what we're doing. They're the little things I think that translate really well into life as well.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Like, let's face it, when was the last time something happened exactly the way you want it to happen?
I cannot remember. I cannot think of it.
Yeah.
It's very rare.
Do you know why you can't think of it? It's because
Because no.
you've been married with kids for long enough that's a distant memory now.
Oh, it is a tip. Someone asked me the other day, because end of school holidays. Oh, what'd you get up to? I'm like, I don't know.
What do you mean? It's like,
It's a blur. I don't know. We did stuff.
it's like there was parks and beaches and SciTech and
And
outings and
I
a
think there's a
whole
roll
lot
show
of
in there
stuff.
too.
Yeah.
Gone off topic. I introduced the kids to, well, they have been introduced to cricket, but the other day I was like, the boys are getting a bit bigger, and I'm like, you guys want to play some driveway cricket?
Oh man,
And
how exciting!
yeah, and it was Max first, and then I was teaching Max how to bowl, and then bat, and
Mm-hmm.
then, anyways, he was bowling for ages, and he's getting better and better at it. I was like, I'll chalk up a little spot in the pitch. I'm like, you want to get in there. You want to get in there, make it tricky for the batsman. You don't want to, come full at me. and get it there, and he's getting it in the box. I'm like, oh, that's awesome, really good, really good. He's getting better and better at it. Batting's work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nick comes home and he's like, oh, I'm playing cricket too. And he's because Nick will sit down and watch cricket with me. My youngest, he'll sit there
Mm-hmm.
and he'll do this with his hands like he's batting. So he might be a cricketer. So he comes in and bowls, and I'm like, yeah, this is cool. And then we got home from school yesterday, and he's like, Dad, can we play cricket? I'm like,
Yeah, there we go.
yeah, there we go. I'm like, nah, we got BJJ. You got to BJJ. We'll play cricket later in the week. But I'm like, that's cool. That's cool. So it's just like, just introducing different things, get involved physically with the kids. That's probably the main reason I'm going to take a lot of time off competing next year as well, is just to do
Mm-hmm.
do a bit more of this stuff, take the kids on holidays, and instead of me going away to worlds and
Mm-hmm.
they stay home, and let's go on a family holiday and do things. And
Have you met many people in your international travels? Have you met those people that bring their families to Worlds?
I've only seen a couple people do it, but like Erica's like, I don't want to go on a holiday where you're just powerlifting. Like, take the kids there and you're powerlifting. I want to go on holiday and be as a family, and because we know you're going to be cutting weight, you're going to be focusing on your comp, then you're going to be talking to other people that you're catching up with, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be that interested in being one of those powerlifting families unless somehow everyone in the family was doing something and was actually doing powerlifting.
Yeah,
Then that would make
yeah,
sense. Otherwise, I
yeah,
think it's I'm with you. It's kind of boring for the family to just sit around watching you cut weight and be grumpy. Um,
yeah,
Listen to you complain for 2 days about being hungry,
yeah,
being a little bit stressed out because the meet's tomorrow. Um,
yeah.
yeah, you kind of get. I think the family gets half a holiday because they get the real you afterwards when you're relaxed and want to have fun.
And it will be pretty much just taking my wife with me, and she's going to be pretty much solo parenting until I
Mm,
compete.
yeah,
So I don't see any worth doing that, and it feels very selfish and self-centered to me that I want to take some of that away. I need a break off just being focused in comps all the time. It's too many. I've done too many comps this year, but after this, it's like, I promise we're going to take a break. I'm not going to do nationals because that'll just open some doors. I don't want it. And I just, yeah, let's go do some fun stuff. I'll go visit my dad more and go on some road trips, go on holidays. It's more life than just every year. You can take. It's not like completely take a year off. It's just take some time off. You can still train. That's what I'm going to do. Still train and you know come back as a M1
how far? How many years till M1 now?
after next year.
So old, so old.
Yeah,
um, we might be. So we'll have like 1 year in M1 together, won't we?
possibly. Yeah.
Possibly.
What do you?
That
What
that I'm
when you
40.
M2?
I'm 48 next year, so I got a
Okay,
couple of years before M2.
I'm 39
Okay, yeah. So
next year.
we'll get a year as M1s at the same time.
Yeah.
If I do a competition as an M1,
Oh, come down. Just come.
maybe just
I
one.
think that'll be. I don't know where it's going to be, but I know it'll be. I know a lot of cool people are going to come that year because I'm like,
When you hit Masters.
Ross. Yeah, I'm like, Ross,
Yeah.
looking forward to competing with you. Same as Mike, and you'll
Mel and
see
I
Peter.
Mel and I were talking about this for Reno next year because I think she'll be a master. Mike will be there. Ross will be there.
Oh,
Diane was going to make a comeback, do a couple of comps, try and qualify. I was going to
nice.
try and either coach or qualify, and I said, "Oh, this will be really fun." But the idea of traveling to America now makes
Oh
me
man,
very
yeah,
nervous. Um,
I'm with you on
but
that.
and it's interesting that you point out what I've been talking to a lot of masters powerlifters about on the podcast here is that we end up doing stuff because it's the people that we know are going to be there. It's no longer
Yeah,
about winning. It's no longer about can I get 4 from 4 PRs? Are people going to like what I do on Instagram? It's more about I
yeah,
haven't seen my very good friend for 12 months. I want to make sure I spend a couple of quality days with them.
yeah, for sure. And that's something I will miss. Because I've been to quite a few worlds now that I've met like people that I only see them at worlds, and they're
Yeah,
really
you
good
get it.
friends.
Yeah, you get it now, right? Like I got all
Yeah,
these friends that I built the friendship over a week every year for several years, and I think there's a different value that we place on those kind of friendships because I
yeah,
think we inherently understand how hard those friendships are to build and maintain.
oh for sure. And I made a lot of good friends in Singapore when I lived over there,
Hmm.
and when I did a couple of worlds for Singapore as well. I made like awesome friendships, and it's like okay, doing worlds. But they were watching me compete at nationals this year, and they were watching, and they actually had their nationals or a comp on that day, and they
Hmm.
were running that meet as well. But they had uh, the comp I was competing in on their laptop, and they were like celebrating when I when I won nationals,
That's
and
awesome.
they were like, "Yes, he's gonna come to worlds. We're gonna catch up." So I was like, "Oh, that was so cool." People they were like, "Man, people were like had no idea what we were doing. We just randomly started shouting and stuff." But but yeah, it's just that that community, I guess, is it's special. It's
Mm.
that's what that's what really got me in the sport in the first place. Is like you took me under the wing, helped me out in my first comp, and then all the people just cheering for you, people I don't even know. They were just like, "Come on!" And then after the comp, they're, "Awesome job!" And I'm like, "I don't know you, but you're happy for me, and that's cool." And
It's the weirdest thing about powerlifting, isn't it?
yeah,
How excited and happy we get when people do something that like half the time it's something that we can do as well and that 50 other people just did, but it's really exciting watching somebody else do it and being able
yeah,
to share in their joy.
yeah, for sure. And it's like,
Mm.
okay, and I think that's what's really hooked me in this sport. Like I've always had a pursuit for strength. I've like without powerlifting, I'll still be strength training.
And that's not going to change for the rest of your life, is it?
No,
No.
I can't go out
Yeah.
without it.
Yeah,
Who knows what
I'm
it's
the
going to look
same. I
like?
haven't
But
I haven't competed in 10 years. Kept on training
yeah,
for 10 years.
yeah,
I was training for a long time before I ever started powerlifting. And
yeah,
I'm hoping that I'll be the guy in his 80s still heading to the gym every day to do a few sets of bench and squats.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, someone asked me the other day. It was like, oh, what keeps you going, or why? Like, you last hit this weight back in 2019, and then you finally hit it in 2025. What kept you going with that? And I'm like, I don't even think about that.
it's, it's what I
Like,
do.
yeah. The last time I tried to lift that weight was 2019, and then I lifted this year. I didn't think of like, oh, I really need to hit that weight. I just thought, man, I just love lifting weights. And then everything that comes with that is it's just a perk. Like it's just cool, cool, a little bonus, right?
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I reckon I'd lift. I can't never not see myself doing something.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, like just like yourself, like just something,
It's
something to keep
at
you going.
some point, I think, and I don't know when or where. How did Daniel Macri put it as being bitten by the iron bug, by the iron snake? Said
Yeah,
like at some point the teeth go in, the venom's in your system, and it's in your system for life, and you're not going to ever
yeah,
get it out of you. Uh, it stays and grows, and I think nowadays, well, actually, when I was lifting, um, I didn't I didn't feel like me if I wasn't lifting, and I feel
yeah.
more like me the more I lift.
Yeah. I, f- I find that like end up getting grumpy.
Yeah.
I need to blow off some steam. Like,
When we were first married, Diane used to send me off to the gym on holidays.
yeah,
She'd go, "You're not fun to be
nice.
around when you're not training." I go, "Yeah,
Yeah,
agreed.
nice.
Sorry. I know."
Yeah. Go get it. Yeah, go get it out of your system and come
Just
back, and then you come back buzzing.
right, yeah. Yeah, this really nice, affectionate, happy, easygoing person again. And you're like, yeah, life is good. The world is
Yeah.
awesome. Why is the world awesome? Well, I just benched 140 for 27 reps. So everything is great.
I don't know if you noticed, but in some gyms, right, or like some people in the gym, um, they'll come in, they're quiet, and you know, and then after an hour of lifting, they're like just won't shut up because they're just in endorphins. They're just like
Yeah.
they feel good. Exercise is good for you.
I think you're describing the both of us.
Yeah, yeah,
I think when we're both training, the last couple of months when we're both at strength club quite often in the morning, I know I'm not particularly pleasant to be around in the first half hour of training.
yeah.
Sometimes I'm not pleasant to be around the whole training. You got to talk to me in the car park afterwards before you get nice, Nathan. so, some days it takes
Yeah,
longer than others. And I think you're a bit the same as well.
yeah, yeah. Just let me get going, and then see how we feel after.
Just just let me get to about 70-80% weights, and then I'll
Yeah.
tell you what kind of day we're having.
Oh, if it's like end of a block, maybe nothing much.
Yeah, just
Just let me die.
have you, when you started training more again in gyms, like especially post COVID, did you start to notice more about your personality because suddenly you realized that you'd been training by yourself for such a long time and you weren't dealing so well with other people being around when you were getting warmed up?
Yeah. Just going back a bit.
Because I'm guessing you like where did you train? Melbourne Uni. You were training with a lot of people in that gym, weren't you?
Yeah, that
I
was
can't
madhouse.
I can't imagine you being too grumpy or standoffish in that environment.
Oh, yeah. I remember there was times where I'd go and do my set, and then I'll go out the door and I'd sit outside.
Hey, let's
But it's
pick
not
up.
particularly in any. It's not anyone's. Not pointed at anyone. It's just like, I need I need some time in my head.
Yeah, I'm just imagining that. Yeah, that long hallway at Melbourne Uni where you walk past the main gym and you go all the way down to Melbourne Uni Powerlifting Club at the end.
Yeah.
Oh man! So let's talk about Melbourne Uni in those days for a little bit because you started there after you did your second comp, and that's where you met the the wise and generous Victor Liu.
Victor Liu, yes. Uh, man, he was. Do you know he was 17 then?
Really?
He was 17 years old. Yeah,
You know,
and we're really good mates.
yeah, yeah. I loved catching up with him at Masters National or Mega Nationals this year in Sydney, and
Yeah.
just hearing the way he speaks, and especially the way he speaks of you and the history in the sport and what he's learned. He's such a great guy.
Well, he was just he was just acted well above his age, like even back then. Like he's just still quite mature,
Mm-hmm.
very energetic,
Yep.
very talkative. I think the reason why him and I talk, get on so well is that he's very extroverted. I don't know, probably somewhere in the middle. But uh, Victor, yeah, he was 17. I met him. He just come off Junior Worlds,
Mm-hmm.
and we just got along. Got along straight away.
Mm-hmm.
Had a lot of relatable things. He was very nerdy with coaching and very nerdy with powerlifting, and so was I. And we always discussed a lot of things. And um, yeah, I trained there for like 2 years, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and made like incredible relationships with some of the lifters in there as well.
Yeah, let's go through and
Um,
mention a couple of them because you had some brilliant lifters in those days at Melbourne Uni.
Yanni's out.
Yeah, yeah, she was the one I was thinking. Like she
Amazing.
was dominating through that period as a junior and sub junior.
She was dominating. Yeah,
Who
very.
else?
And she's got a very.
Catherine Green.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
Uh,
Um, David James.
mm-hmm.
Uh,
Tell me about Sam Opat.
Dean and Christoph as well. Hey,
Tell me about Sam Opat.
Samo Pat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam. I remember. Yeah, I remember seeing Sam in there. He was getting coached by David mostly.
Yeah.
Um, Sam used to hit me up when he'd come to Singapore to train.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, let's do a session together, and he'll come and train where I'm training, and we'll go get chicken rice. And yeah, he would love to come. He would just come to Singapore just for a holiday, just to chill out.
Such a good guy.
Yeah, and I remember just yep, we'll just train and good dude. He's still lifting. I haven't heard from him for a while.
I saw him at.
I think I saw him at Nats.
Yeah, I spoke to him. We had a coffee at Nationals. He was
Yeah.
there. He had that big junior kid that did really well.
Yeah.
Forget his name right now, but yeah, he's going to be devastating over the next 5 to 10 years. I think he's one of those guys that I will go out on a limb now and say he will win open worlds in his lifetime.
Yeah, he just competed at Junior Worlds as well.
Mm-hmm. How did he go?
I think he got podium. I can't remember. Third?
Yeah, right. Yep.
Third or fourth? I can't remember.
Yeah, I've got him down for open worlds sometime in the next 10 years.
Yeah, 105 is so stacked.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's the thing about the 105 class is that 4 or 5 guys on any given day can win it, just depending on what the conditions are like and who times things the best.
Yeah. Yeah. Incredible lifter. He's currently has the open record in Australia for total.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I think what we're starting to see now is how good, particularly, well, no, probably not gendered, just how good young lifters truly can be when they come into the sport at like 15 or 16, have quality coaching from day one, that they learn the progressions in the right way, in a very healthy way, and they're not just maxing out being high school kids, being idiots, but they're receiving really good technical coaching from day one on, and they've got this time in their life where you've got the most energy you're ever going to have, the least responsibility you'll ever have, the highest levels of testosterone and all of your natural anabolic hormones in your body, and they're getting into good clubs, and now we're starting to see how good people can be.
It's crazy to see because you see a lot of juniors now that are like would absolutely smash the open lifters like 3-4 years ago. Even yeah. And I think most of that comes down to, as you said, is that coaching's gotten better. Nutrition, just knowledge and information is just so much more accessible now, where you don't have to go on a forum and ask someone that might know, and it's just so accessible. And there's so many coaches, great coaches as well, that will help guide them and get them off on a good path. And I think a lot as well is, as much as social media could be a double-edged sword, can be super motivating for them as well if they've got the right head for it.
Let's face it, it is a double-edged sword, and the good edge of that sword is it's attracting a lot of attention of people that are starting in powerlifting. They're not going to another sport first, failing at it, picking up injuries, picking up bad habits. They're starting in powerlifting, and and seeing powerlifting as being a credible option for their sporting choice.
For sure.
Unlike very much unlike you and I that tried about a million different things beforehand and just kind of fell into powerlifting going, oh, holy shit, this is awesome. I'm good at it. Let's keep going. These guys are actually setting out at 15 going, I want to be a powerlifter. I've never done anything else before. This is what I'm going to do with my life.
Yeah. And I love working with sub juniors and juniors just to see them. Like, I'm like, God, I didn't have the opportunity to know what this sport was when I was that age. I had no idea what powerlifting was. And I'm like, damn, I wish I knew it back then. Now I can kind of live vicariously through them and help guide them to see what would happen if they know
Right.
at this age and see where that leads to.
We
And
watched.
you see that with a lot of other coaches, juniors and sub juniors with other coaches as well. And you've seen some juniors are just out of this world. Like,
It's phenomenal, isn't it? Absolutely phenomenal. I remember watching Brett Gibbs come into the sport as a junior, or maybe as even a sub junior. I used to hear about him from my friends in Wellington. And Brett had big ambitions from day one. He was telling people he wanted to be the greatest New Zealand powerlifter of all time. And I think he came close to doing that. It's either him or Derek Pomana. It's an argument who was better.
yeah.
And we used to constantly talk about how we wished we had what Brett had at the same age, like in terms of training partners, equipment, accessibility, information. And we're going, oh, imagine if we got this at 18, what we could have done.
Yeah.
And that's that old man syndrome of going, oh, what about? And it's all bullshit because we didn't have it. We did it a different way. And, we saw how good Brett was.
Yeah.
Because he's just a naturally, like he had a lot of genes that were going to be good for powerlifting, athletic guy, smart guy, had good people around him.
Yeah.
And now, and in his era, Brett was a exception. Having that around him. Now I think that's the norm is people with that kind of talent having all the access to the high quality information. So we should see a lot more, another probably over the next 5 to 10 years, another sort of uptick in the numbers in powerlifting.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure, definitely. And it's super exciting for the sport as well.
Right.
Just like I feel like the sport is just starting to get more exciting.
I think I think the sport's the same. I think it's more from our perspective, we're noticing new things, which is exciting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we get to have that same excitement. If we pay enough attention to like these transition periods as we're getting older, it is exciting to watch. Because think about when you started, how many people had deadlifted 400 kilos in competition? None. No one. Nobody. Like the first person to do it did it in single play equipment as well. And now we've got quite a few guys that are all up near 400 or over 400. Like that guy the guy from Great Britain, 415.5. Oh, man, my God.
I watched that and I was just like, holy crap. And he's a junior.
Like, what's he going to be doing at 32? Like, give him another 10 years of good, solid, consistent training. Are we going to be talking about him as the greatest of all time? Or is someone else going to start even earlier than he did? Watch this guy's progression, copy everything he does, and then innovate on it and deadlift even more.
The sport is moving so fast.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's just hit this point, probably post-COVID, and then it's just gone.
Yeah.
Just taken off. Like in regards to performances, the production of it as well. Like the stream is so much better. Remember comps where it was just like Facebook live stream?
Yeah. Because that was
on a tripod.
That was the best technology available at the time.
Yeah, and now
it sounds weird, doesn't it? Saying that was the best technology.
And now we've got commentators, we've got graphics.
Mm-hmm.
It's exciting.
Do you want to know what my first comp looked like?
Yeah.
As a just a point of difference.
Where was it?
It was at the Muscle Pit in Perth. I drove down from Karratha. Had like
Oh, yeah.
1 or 2 nights in Perth before I lifted. Did the 17-hour drive. It was just
Yeah.
me, Diane, and Bronte. We hadn't even, Gabrielle wasn't born. Bronte was a 2-year-old, I think,
Wow.
and we had the light. The lights were everything was connected by wire. So it was this old box lighting system. Like the old people will know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you actually had white globes and red globes in this box that you had to plug into the wall, and all three referees' controls ran by a wire to this box.
Yeah,
And you
yeah, I
did,
remember this.
and you did like click down or click up for white or red, and it would only come on when the chief referee would flick a switch.
Yeah.
That was lighting, and that was the most technically advanced thing we had in the building that day. Right? Everything was handwritten. There was no photographers, no videographers. Facebook didn't exist. Instagram didn't exist. Social media hadn't been invented. Um, the internet I think, was probably still dial up.
Probably.
Right.
Wow. That's a throwback.
I remember for the first couple of years printing out competition registrations, filling them out by hand, and
Yeah.
then faxing it back or scanning it and then emailing it back as a scanned document. Right? There was a lot of
Yeah.
effort to do powerlifting.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
that's not even 20 years ago. So now when I come to local comps, I just like I'm so over the moon happy for what I see, because there's like 20 people volunteering to pump it out. There's cameras everywhere. There's who's the mob in Perth that do all the videos? What are they called?
Thirds.
Thirds.
They're national now.
National, right?
Yeah, they've got everywhere.
So
They have one available at nearly every
so
time.
professional, like
Yeah.
brilliantly done. That
Yep.
and then you got what is Chris's thing called? What strength stream?
Strength stream. Yeah.
Strength stream. Like my goodness, like this is what Paul and I dreamed of 20 years ago, of attracting people like this into this community that would know how to do all of these things, because we
Yeah.
had no idea. We knew how
Yeah.
to walk up to people in gyms and say, "Are you interested in powerlifting? Do you want to come do a comp with us?" Like
Yeah.
that's what we were good at.
Yeah.
We didn't know any of the technology stuff. We didn't, we weren't good with computers. I didn't know how to do a live stream. None of that. But over time, these people have come into the community, and you can see what's possible. It's phenomenal, man. Just phenomenal.
Yeah. It's only going to get better.
Yeah.
Like,
Because
it's
guess
only
what?
gonna,
There's people out there that know more than thirds, that are just getting interested in powerlifting and seeing what they do, and are going to innovate on what people are doing now. And so in 5 years' time, it will have doubled and expanded again.
yeah, you see like Sheffield as well. How like watching that on the stream, even the comp I did a couple of weeks ago, not Night of Champions. That was brilliantly done. Like
Oh
there
man.
at the
Yeah.
venue, it was amazing. I was like, I couldn't like my dad and my stepmom were like, it was phenomenal. The production they put into that, like even the big LED screen behind, in a theater, um, the lighting, the music, it was crazy. And it's just like it's so exciting. Like, and last year it was in a convention center, and it's
Yeah, that
just
was good fun. I enjoyed that
it's
one.
good fun too. And it was just getting like, but it's getting that little bit better each time, or a lot better.
Right? You think, like, here's the progression. To get a competition like that in my era, I had to fly for 31 hours to go to the Arnold Classic.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
that would have been amazing. I remember
Huge,
that. I remember watching
huge,
those, man.
hugely expensive, really expensive. And I had to fly to the exact opposite side of the world from where we're from.
Yeah.
Now we're getting, and that's a massive budget. Obviously, there's all of the Arnold Sports Festival dollars that go into that,
Mm,
the Columbus Convention Center, and massive supplement sponsors to drive that kind of production.
yeah.
And we're seeing that level of production 12 years later at a local comp.
Yeah, at a local comp.
Holy crap. It's
It's
like, well done,
it's so
everybody.
cool.
Good job. Good job.
Well, it's like it's just people that want it to grow. People want it
Yeah,
to make it exciting, which is
it is
it's
cool,
really
isn't it?
cool.
It is
Yeah,
cool. And I think that the number one thing, and we keep on coming back to this every time I talk to uh, anyone on this podcast, it's we will continue to grow like this as long as we stay inclusive,
yeah,
as long as we reject gatekeepers and reject this, in grouping and out grouping, and make sure that everybody, no matter where they're from, no matter how weird and different they look, that we go, yep, if you're weird and you're a little bit different, you're a little bit out there, you probably belong in powerlifting. Right.
there's a lot of us.
Mm. It's like think about all of the crazy people you've ever met in your life. How many of them are in powerlifting?
Yeah, and you'll see people that are like just super calm and cool in person, and then when they compete, it's just like whoa. That's like they
Right.
flip the switch. They flip
Mm-hmm.
the switch, and then yeah, and then some people just keep that same energy, staying calm. But yeah, man.
Yeah, I used to. I, I used to get that a lot with that switch flipping thing. That people had
Yeah,
this. If people only ever saw me on comp day, they had a really skewed perception of what I was really like.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. Well, obviously you don't see yourself from the outside, but I get the same thing as well. Like Victor's actually told me, like, man, you look like you're gonna you're gonna fight someone,
yeah, right. Yeah.
but you're like not saying anything, and you're just sitting there. And I'm like, oh, dude, I'm just like chilling. but they were like, he would tell me that like someone wanted to come and do something to me, and they were too intimidated. I was like, oh, I didn't mean that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's funny. It's funny that, like you said, like you don't always realize how people are viewing you.
Yeah,
I've heard those stories about you, and they always make me laugh because I'm like, yeah, he's the least guy like that. It's, um, it's funny. Bronte's inherited that from me. She's got a really good resting bitch face, and
yeah,
I know I'm kind of the same. If I when I was going to uni a few years back, if I got on the bus in dark glasses, people were
yeah,
really worried. Like, because I just sit there. I'm not. And if anybody asks what's going through your head right now, I go, oh, I'm thinking about stand up paddleboarding the length of the Swan River and how beautiful that would be. It's like some great fantasy running through my head. But on the outside, it looks like I'm ready to kill someone.
yeah, yeah. I get
It's like,
told that
yeah.
too. Erica calls it resting Kanye face.
And I'm still at that
You
one.
got
I'm
your
going to
Kanye
use that.
face on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Mm. It's funny. So, how do you think people perceive you? What do you think the Adam Jones story is in the public
I
eye?
don't know. I think a lot of people will have their own perceptions through just different experiences with me, and you
Mm-hmm.
have that with, I have that with you. We have it with all different people, and it's just totally dependent on how much they've seen of me. Like, you know, a lot of people in strength club know me for a long time, and they're pretty relaxed around me. So I'm relaxed
Okay.
around them.
He's not that scary. He's
Yeah, he's all
okay.
right. Yeah. Whereas, like, if you've only seen me in the warm up room, well, that's a different perception, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or like, if you know me as just the coach, that's your perception of me, and I think it goes with everyone, right?
There was a perception in WA powerlifting that I was just a referee. There was a point that I just stopped lifting in WA. I was doing too many other things at the same time. I was either directing the meet plus refereeing and coaching and helping set up the meet. So I just and initially, Paul and I especially, we would lift and referee and compete and arrange the
Yeah,
meet all at the same time. So when we didn't have to do that anymore, I stopped doing that. So I do most of my competing overseas or on the East Coast.
Yep.
And so, yeah, most people just thought I was a referee for the longest time, and then I
Yeah.
came out and I did that comp in Rockingham where I benched 350, and it
Yep.
it genuinely shocked a lot of people when they go, "Oh, so that guy that tells people what to do could actually do it as well." I'm like,
Yep.
I go, all
I
right.
remember people asking you at in Melbourne, do you compete?
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Man, do you know how much it benches? uh,
Oh,
that was
yeah.
like my perception of you. I met you the first time at SFG1. I'm like, oh, that really strong dude that swings heavy kettlebells and that can bench a lot.
Right.
And then over time, he's like, he's very knowledgeable, and I like picking his brain. So yeah,
It's a funny sport. It's funny what we see these days on social media. I think it's really easy to get to craft a personality or to orchestrate a personality that's not really you. But
yeah,
if you spend enough time in strength sports, you can't be anybody but yourself.
absolutely,
Mm.
absolutely. Just yeah, got to be yourself.
So just thinking one last question before we do finish up, because I see we've
Yep.
gone for 90 minutes. I think that's plenty.
Oh,
What do you think is something about you that people would be genuinely surprised to find out?
oh, wow.
Tough question, isn't it?
I don't. Man, I'm stumped.
I'll see if I can give you a bit of a hand. There's a lot of people that I talk to because powerlifting's a little bit niche and a little bit different. We attract these really niche people, and they've all had the experience of being told you're actually. Somebody will compliment them on something about them that they've just done, and they'll use the word actually in front of it, which means that in that person's head, the opposite was true originally. And they're very
Wow.
surprised that these this somewhat weird person can do something that they didn't expect. So what's the thing that you surprise people with the most about who you are?
Okay. Okay, I was surprised. I got a lift with some guy the other night after Night of Champs, and he was telling me his perception of me, right? And he goes, "Oh, you put out some." He likes my content, a lot of stuff back in the day that I put out with my mates from Singapore, and he
Mm-hmm.
has this perception of me that I'm a coach and I'm very authoritative. And I'm like, man, I do not think of myself as a very authoritative person. I do have it sometimes when I need it, but
Mm.
I'm just pretty chill, laid back person that is probably. I have very minimal judgment on people. Like I'm very, very relaxed, and um, yeah, I think, and I feel like I just got a really good temperament that I just don't. Nothing really pisses me off too much. Um,
And that surprises people.
sometimes, probably because of
Mm.
my resting Kanye face, maybe.
Maybe maybe
Some,
it's just the stereotype of what people think goes into making highly successful, strong people.
yeah, I, I just couldn't think of a good answer there. I can't
Yeah.
think like I can't. Yeah, it's a hard thing because I don't see myself from the outside, and yeah,
It's good one to end on. I think. It's a maybe good one for other people to think about as well, because it's hard to see yourself the way other people do, and
and I'm
and sometimes we really do surprise people. Uh, in in the time that I've known you, you are definitely one of the more surprising people I've come across.
yeah, like what is it like? Because I was going to ask you, and I would ask I would ask my wife as well.
Mm.
And
I think every time I've learned something new about you over the last 12 years, it hasn't been a surprise, but it's been surprising.
okay,
And it's always, that makes sense. Like, I didn't know you were from Newman at first. And there was just
yeah,
some of the, like, the ways that you spoke and the way that you carried yourself. They go,
yeah,
it's interesting. He's not like everyone else. And then we said, oh, yeah, I grew up in Newman. I'm like, oh, yeah, you're like everyone else from Newman that I've met.
yeah,
Like, it's very consistent, but it surprised me that you were from Newman.
yeah,
It didn't surprise me how deep you think about stuff. It made a lot of sense, but it was surprising because sometimes it just looks like you're looking at the clouds.
yeah,
And I think that might trick people. That
yeah,
I think most people would be surprised to find out exactly how deep you think, and that when you're quiet, there's a lot going on.
there is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't realize I'm doing it. Um, but yeah, you gave me a good example there. Like I used to train with someone in Melbourne Uni, and he was like, "Oh, like because I came in the sport and I came in and I was started doing well when I came back again, and he was just like, oh, I told him I was a chippy. I'm a carpenter by trade, and also I've done 10 plus years on the tools whilst learning coaching and training as well." And he was like, "Oh, I thought you were just one of those guys that just had all the time in the world and was gifted with all this athletic,
Yeah, right.
abilities." And I'm like, "Nah, man, I worked hard for it, dude.
Yeah.
Like for a long time." And he's like, "Oh, okay, that doesn't piss me off so much now." Like, I don't know why that annoyed him so much, but um, sometimes people are just gifted with great athletic abilities, and power to them. Let's see them grow. But yeah,
Yeah, they're few and far between. I think the last time we had one of those in this country, his name was Dylan Hellriegel.
oh
It's
yeah,
just born to powerlift and lift heavy things. I think doesn't matter how he trains, really. He's just a genetic freak, brilliant to watch,
yeah,
and so damn strong without that much effort. I think he works really hard to get to
really
the
fun.
to get to the point he wanted to get to the point,
Yeah,
and everyone works hard.
you got to work hard to get somewhere with it, right?
Yeah,
It's not,
yeah, you really do.
and I think coming to the into the sport late, they don't see everything before. Like they only see what's on open powerlifting or what's on social media,
Hmm.
and like there was years and years and years I didn't use social media, and I trained because I opened a social media account because I started coaching, and I was told I need an Instagram. Okay,
Right. Yeah, I'm much the same. Like what I'm posting is I'm posting for the business. I'm trying to
yeah,
just get the information out that this is how I coach people. This is if you want to work with me, this is how I operate.
yeah,
Before that, when I had the strokes, I deleted my Instagram account. I
yeah,
disabled my Facebook account. I had no social media for 5 years.
yeah,
Me being on social media is about marketing.
yep,
Yeah.
yep. Using it as a marketing tool, and
Yeah, well, I can't afford. I don't have a marketing budget that allows me to actually really spend money. So, Facebook and Instagram are it at the moment.
perfect.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well, man, I really appreciate your time. I don't want to. I could chat with you all morning and take up hours, and we
yeah.
could keep on going, but we won't. Really appreciate your time, and especially
That's all,
appreciate
man.
your vulnerability. I know we tend to cover less powerlifty related topics and more personal stuff. So thanks for being so
Easy.
open and sharing with us like that.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me.
All right.
It's fun.
Cool, man. I think that'll make for a good episode.